Three. This is a man named Bucky Richardson. Bucky Richardson was a college football phenomenon. Anybody remember Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football? He was Johnny Football before social media, okay? I was actually playing basketball at A&M when he was playing football, so we knew each other a little bit, but he was a superstar. And this is principle number 3.
A lot of people don't know that you were originally from Louisiana, and I think, tell me if I'm remembering this right, when you were trying to decide, you were a very good baseball and very good football player in high school, and you were trying to decide between, I think, LSU and A&M.
Yeah, that's correct.
And and I think, tell me if I'm remembering this right, you made your decision, I think, right on signing day about, you were pretty close to going to LSU and then made your decision. So am I remembering that right? And if so, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was pretty close to signing day. It wasn't the day. I had grown up in Baton Rouge. I grew up about 15 miles from Tiger Stadium. My dad would take me to LSU games since I could remember. And that was always kind of, it'd be cool to be able to play college one day, much less LSU or a place like A&M. Ultimately, when I came on my visit to A&M, we had a great tour of the campus, and this lady that showed us around was just phenomenal and patient, because we had a million questions. And I think after that campus tour, I said, this is where I want to be. And just those kind of decisions, those big decisions that you make, you educate yourself, and then you follow your gut.
Love that.
Next witness, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is active duty Colonel John Gallimore, who some of you may know. Colonel Urasek we've known Colonel Gallimore since he was a freshman, I guess, basically, in the Corps. But he's a Thunderbirds pilot, he's a combat pilot, F-16s, and he's the current group commander at Nellis Air Force Base, at least as of 6 months ago.
So, as much as I love flying jets, the Air Force takes you out of your comfort zone, if you will, out of a fighter squadron, and then they put you in professional military education, which is it's going to get a master's essentially. And then you have to do a staff job at some point. And prior to being back here at Nellis, my staff job is I was the Deputy Executive Officer to the Commander of the United States Central Command, which is one of 6 geographic combatant commands we have around the world. And so he was a 4-star general, and I learned more about myself and about being an officer in the United States military in the 18 months that I served under him than I had in my 18 and a half years of service leading up to that point. It was a phenomenal life experience, but one of his 4 tenets was trust your instincts. So when he would talk to his other commanders, and he's as high as you can get, right?
Yeah.
And when he would talk to his other commanders, he would say exactly that, is trust your instincts, because your instincts are what got you here. And they haven't failed you so far. Now,
anybody know who this is? Vasily Arkhipov? Does anybody? I can't believe you guys don't know who this is. This man, without this man, none of us are here right now. Who was talking? Yes, sir.
Isn't he one of the Russian snipers?
No, but you're close.
He was a air defense officer, Russian military.
Close.
He he told the computers they were wrong when they said that our missiles were launching against us, or against the Soviets.
Yes, essentially yes. This man is known as the man who saved the world. So he was a Russian sub-commander during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And they had, at the time, the Russians had a system where 2 people had to authorize the launch of nuclear weapons. It happened to be that because he was his rank, he was the 3rd guy, they had gotten a false signal, essentially, that we had launched nukes against him. He was supposed to launch nuclear weapons from his sub, but his instinct told him something was wrong, and he decided not to. So principle number 3 is trust your instincts. Every one of you here is here because you have good instincts. there's a security expert named Gavin DeBecker who provides security for Jeff Bezos and all these heads of state and stuff. He wrote a book about self-defense or protecting yourself. And one of the fundamental things he said was, if something doesn't feel right, listen to your gut. Trust your gut. We have evolved as humans over tens of thousands of years to have senses that sometimes we may not really know. We can't put it into words. Something doesn't feel right. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Good leaders trust their instincts. When I think back on my life, I'm 48 now, I think every time I did something that didn't feel right in my stomach, it was a bad decision. And when I trusted my instincts, almost every single time, it was the right decision.